All right. Hello, everyone. This is Elizabeth Crawford. Mr. Woda asked me to make a video about how to utilize Edpuzzle. For those of you that like to use videos in your classroom and you may play them normally when you have your students all together, since that may or may not be what we get to do this fall, Edpuzzle is a great way to still have your students watch videos, but to make sure that they are actually watching the videos that you're sharing with them. So just an overview of Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a place where you can upload or utilize videos that are already out on the internet and create assessments with them. So they can be really quick assessments of learning throughout the video to make sure that they grasp the concepts that you wanted them to grasp. But it also can be used as a grade, and you can sync your Google Classroom with it. So over here, I have an account because I've used Edpuzzle before, but if I go to my classes, it's going to list my classes, and you see this little green circle up here that shows you that it's synced with my Google Classroom. I can assign things to students, and it'll go to my Google Classroom, it'll give them the due date, and then it's going to show me what students have and have not completed it. I've already linked my Google Classroom classes for the fall in here, as you can see them over here on the left. But all you have to do is click Add New Class, select Google Classroom, and then a disclaimer is going to come up and it's going to ask you if you would like to sync your Google Classroom. I say yes because it makes it easier with the transferring process. And then all of my students will automatically show up instead of inviting each individual student. If you go over here to where it says Gradebook, once you have students in here and you've actually assigned something, the gradebook is going to show up so that you can see what grades they've received on the videos and what questions they've missed. So if it's a consistently missed question by all your students, you have the ability to go back and reteach that material. Then if you click on content, this takes you to the kind of the landing page. And so what you do in order to create your assessment video. So once you've decided what kind of video you're looking for, you're going to scroll through here or do a search for videos up here. I'm going to do Federalist and Anti-Federalist. So you select the little box down here and you're going to click Edit when it pops up down here at the bottom of the screen. Then once you click Edit, you go over here to Questions. It gives you other editing options, such as you can cut the video down in size. You can do a voiceover if you want yourself to be the one speaking, or you're going to ask questions. You will notice over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you have different options. You can create a multiple choice question. You can create an open-ended question where they actually have to explain something. Or you can add a written comment note or audio note so that you can further explain something you may think might be hard for them to understand. So here's how this works. I'm going to hit play on the video, and the volume on the video is turned down just so you don't hear it with me at the same time. Once the video loads and starts playing, you have the ability to insert questions different places within the video. So once it loads, I can show you about how to put in the questions. All right. So as this presentation or video progresses, I'm going to let it play through this slide. And then I'm going to click multiple choice question. So it automatically stops it at this point at 21 seconds. I'm going to type in my question. What did Federalist support? Okay. So then I'm going to add in my answers. So you can add as many answer choices as you wanted. So we'll just say government. Okay, so top answer is correct. I'm going to click save. It automatically is going to save it to that video. And a little dot's going to show up down here to let you know that that question is at 21 seconds. What happens on the student side, and I can show you the student side in just a second. I'm going to hit continue. It's going to continue to play, and then once you're done, once you decide where you want your questions to be, you just stop and add them as you go. So adding these questions into the videos gives you the option to check your students' understanding, since we may not be with them full-time in the classroom, but you may want to utilize certain kinds of videos in order for students to still get necessary information they need to learn the material. So I'm going to add another question. This time I'm adding an open-ended question. And really it's a yes or no kind of question. But if you know anything about Federalist and Anti-Federalist, students get them confused all the time. So a question like, did Federalists think a Bill of Rights was necessary? It's on the screen where it says that they didn't think it was necessary. But if you teach Federalists and Anti-Federalists, you will understand that students do get those things confused. So just for this video's purposes, I'm not going to add any more questions to the video because I want to show you how to wrap it all up. So once you've added all of your questions or notes, if you want to further explain something to your students, up here where it says finish, you're going to click that button and it has finished it for you. Okay. And so when students are taking this, watching this video, if I hit play on the video now, when it stops at its different points, it should show you where those questions are located. So when we get to 21 seconds, and then I think about a minute, those questions that I created for my students to answer should pop up for us. And it actually will pause the video for the student to give them time to answer it or read whatever note that you left for them. And it goes through the whole video. And then, of course, whatever their grade is. Now, open-ended question, obviously, you're going to have to grade. So, this popped up. I need to answer it. I'm going to hit submit. And it tells me that I got it correct, which is wonderful. So then you just hit continue, and it goes back to playing the video, and it's going to show up at the next question. With open-ended questions, it's not going to tell them it's for sure correct, because we have to go back and obviously physically grade those. So once you've got the video the way you want it, I'm going to hit pause. You can assign it to a group of students. I can select American government. I'm just going to select regular government. I'm going to assign it to all of my students. I'm going to tell them that it's due today at 12 o'clock. Or tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. They're not going to be able to skip it, and I can turn on closed captioning, so as they're listening, they can also read it across the bottom. And I'm going to click assign. And then once it's assigned, all my students that would be listed here get access to it. They're gonna watch it, they're gonna answer the questions, and then I'm gonna go back and look at it to make sure that everything's okay. So that's really the ins and outs of Edpuzzle. Like I said, I highly recommend it for academic and program teachers. Program teachers especially could really utilize this. If there are videos that have come with a piece of curriculum you have purchased, and you want students to watch those videos and learn how to do something that you may not be able to teach them while they're in lab with you, or if we're in a situation to where they're going to have to learn some of these skills by watching videos, then adding these questions in there forces them to not only watch the video, but to actually pay attention and to learn what is going on, so that when they do come back and they demonstrate those skills for you, they have a better understanding of what that looks like because they've watched a video. The other thing I will say is please pre-screen all videos. Some of them look really great, but some of them cannot give you what you're really wanting. So always pre-screen the videos. Check to make sure that it has correct information, and make sure it's easy to understand for your students. If it's got some harder things, like I said, you can always add those notes in there so that the students can better understand, because you're also describing it to them beyond what the video is saying. If you have any other questions about Edpuzzle, I'd be happy to talk with you or walk you through step-by-step in person or online how to create one. But truly, Edpuzzle is one of those great assessment tools that during a digital learning period will be very beneficial to us, solely because it gives us access to seeing what the students are comprehending and what they're not comprehending.